Corvus is a project that's about 2 hours north of Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a moderate size right now, oxide near surface deposit, very low strip ratio. It's really sort of the bread and butter of what we see in Nevada and have seen for the last 100 years of gold development along the western side of Nevada in an area we call the Walker Lane. So logistically, it's in a great location. It's a similar type of deposit that's been mined many times in the past in this area of Nevada. The largest deposit in our general area is the old Bullfrog mine, operated by Barrick Gold, produced about 2.5 million ounces of gold at an average grade of about 2 grams a ton from an open pit. That mine closed in 2000. We came into this area in basically 2007 and started doing some preliminary exploration. It's a very similar geologic package to the north. Our property is about 72 square kilometers of property we own 100% of, and about 20% of that is patented mining claims where we own the surface and underground minerals. The rest of it is federal unpatented mining claims, and that is where our new discovery is. North Bullfrog is a brand new discovery in Nevada. It's currently, right now, about 1.2 million recoverable ounces in it. This is our little town of Beatty, Nevada. It's about 1,000 people, a mining town. It's about 5 miles away from our deposit. This is the Bullfrog mine that was operated by Barrick, and very standard open pit oxide type operation where the 2-gram material was basically processed through an oxide mill. So we can look at our deposit here. You can see the red is the higher grade part of this deposit, averages about 2.5 grams a ton. And the yellow material here that you see in there is a low grade halo that sits around it. We'll be mining this as we go after the higher grade material. And that's one of the reasons why we have such a low strip ratio. It's about 0.6 to 1. PEA that we did a little over a year ago came out with some very encouraging numbers, about 250 million US NPV on a 5% discount, creating a 38% IRR. Most importantly, it's 175 million to get this thing up and going. So it's a relatively low capex and a simple mine project to actually go forward with low cash costs in the low 600s. So it looked like a very good deposit. One of the things we look at when we look at this is how's it fit in the current production in Nevada or in North America for these big low-grade deposits. Fits, the PEA numbers came right in line with current production we see now. So it looked like a very good project, and our next step was to go out and make it bigger and make it better. And so when we looked at sensitivities with gold price, it certainly was one of those things that has good leverage with gold, but good downside protection as well. So it's a simple mine plan that we have here, standard open pit with the higher grade material going through an oxide mill where we get 50% of the recovery out in the gravity circuit. Corvus has done some unique things. We purchased a water right, which is adequate for this project, 1,600 acre feet. That's a big deal in this part of Nevada. We have 16 megawatts of power into the site. Access is quite good local labor force. We're operating under currently 120 acre disturbance plan of operations with the BLM on this area, and we've teed up the project so it could go through a 2-stage permitting, which would be an initial starter pit area. We would permit under an EA, which is a relatively quick process in Nevada. In this area, it's somewhere between 8 to 12 months to get done. And then as soon as we got that permit so we could start the initial phase, which is about 3.5-4 year project, we would go through the full EIS for the 2,300 acre permit for the entire project and ultimately produce the 1.2, 1.3 million ounces of gold. So this is the deposit. It's, as I say, a brand new discovery. This is the high-grade vein system that we found, the first one that we found. We call it Yellowjacket. That vein system, as I say, is surrounded by a large low-grade system in there. It's quite good. It's grade. It's very similar to what Bullfrog was to the south of us that Barrick mined. As we go through this system here has also got a number of new exploration targets that we've got on here. These are new areas that after we finished the first resource, that we found additional higher grade mineralization in. There's a deep zone underneath that looks quite good. There's also a zone of mineralization off to the east we call Liberator, and another zone to the north of the deposit we call NWSB. These are areas we're currently drilling in. We've got 18,000 meters of new drilling that's going into a resource update that'll be completed probably in the early fall of this year. So these are new areas that are going to add to an existing pit, and they're right on the margin of the pit. So they're good, easy places for us to come and get. A number of other exploration targets throughout the district. We have an area called Cat Hill that's a brand new discovery. We just drilled the first holes in it last year. It looks like a very similar system, and we'll be doing some exploration drilling in this area as well. What we know about major mining companies is that they're constantly out there looking for new resources to bring into their production portfolio, and some of these companies have some real need in the near future. What they're doing is buying toehold financings in companies like Corvus Gold, and those toehold financings are really, they're giving us the money to go make the discoveries and so on and so forth in the future. And Corvus's largest toehold financing is AngloGold Ashanti right now. You can look at Corvus's valuation. This is some data put together by RBC about a number of the development projects that are here in North America. Corvus has, for about 100,000 ounces a year of production, Corvus plots quite well on a rate of return for an acquisition. So it is an attractive project, primarily for Nevada producers as a bolt-on, or some mid-tier producers as a quality asset that can come into the company. Great shareholder base. Tocqueville is our largest shareholder at 19%. AngloGold Ashanti now owns 18.5% of Corvus Gold. Our management group is a little under 7%. And big investment funds like Resource Capital Fund, Van Eck, and recently the Osisko Group have come in and made large purchases of the stock in the company. We've got about 92 million shares out, good cash for us. About $5.5 million. We spend about $1.5 million a year on exploration, and our burn rate's about $2 million. So that's about $3.5 to $4 million a year that we actually operate the company with. And so we're in good shape going forward with some great shareholder partners going forward, and only about 15 million shares in the float. So we can look at how do shareholders actually make money in this market. One thing we do know is as gold price goes up, exploration companies, development companies, they get a lot of leverage out of that. In the last run-up we saw last year in gold, we saw gold price go up about 25%, and you look at Corvus's share price went up about 200% during that period of time. Also, when you deliver exploration results, you can also push that same sort of multiple, even in a flat gold market, because you're finding new things, you're making more value, you're creating wealth, basically, of the project. And so that's really what we hope to have, both of these things. We have a big exploration project that's been going on now for a couple months, and it'll continue on for a couple more months. It should add a lot of resource into our current resource statement and build more value of the company. So we should have that news flow going, along with, I think we're going to see a continued recovery of gold price as we get back into that $1,300, $1,400 gold environment, hopefully by the end of this year. So we think this is going to be a perfect storm for gold investments right now. So that's really the story of Corvus Gold. It's a new oxide discovery in Nevada, and logistically a very good place, and we're continuing to make it bigger and better, and we hope at the end of the day that we're going to be able to deliver a tremendous value for our shareholders, particularly when you look at current share prices as they are now, and what we should be seeing for Corvus Gold in the future. So essentially that's it, and I'm all done. Thanks.